Welcome into NBA Countdown. I'm George Sedano in for Malika Andrews, NBA champions Michael Malone, Kendrick Perkins with me here alongside Brian Windhorst as well. Gentlemen, we excited for a big night of basketball?
Yeah.
Hey, happy belated St. Patrick's Day.
There you go. You got your green on.
I got my green tie, and I know my guy here, Kendrick McPerkins, is celebrating too.
One of us at this desk is Irish.
All right, fellas, we got to get to a doubleheader here around the corner, but let's get out and run, brought to you by Samsung. Starting with Jason Tatum. Coach, you were with me in Boston last weekend for his debut. What have you seen from him in those first 5 games?
Guy that missed 298 days, George, averaging 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4.5 assists. The efficiency isn't there yet, but I know in the last 14 games of regular season, he's going to find a way to find that rhythm, only shooting 27% from 3. Most important thing, they're 4-1 since his return.
All right, Perk. Brown's on the brink of becoming the 4th player in Celtics history to average 25, 5, and 5. In your eyes, is he a lock for first team All-NBA?
You damn right he is.
Oh.
He's definitely getting my vote. Damn it, he's in the MVP conversation. And you know the thing that I love about Jaylen Brown is that, guess what? This regular season means nothing to him. He got his eyes on a bigger prize, and that's trying to go win another championship and another possible Finals MVP.
Let's move on to Golden State. Shams reported earlier today that there's cautious optimism Steph Curry will be back by the end of the month. Brian, what more can you tell us?
Yeah, he's been out on the court for the last week or so. Hopefully no setbacks as he recovers from that knee swelling. I think the hope is on this road trip to get him some contact work in practice. And if there's no setbacks there, would not surprise me if you see him at the end of next week as they try to ramp up for what's going to be a play-in appearance for them.
Why were they shooting twos there, Wendy?
What's his problem?
All right, for our nightcap, the Lakers will be in Houston less than 48 hours after slowing down the Rockets' offense on Monday, holding KD and company to just 12 points in the fourth quarter en route to improving to a league-best 19-6 in clutch time this season. And it's been a wild ride for LA this season. That's led them to sitting to 3rd in the Western Conference at the moment. They jumped out to a 15-4 start, capped off with a 7-game win streak. However, they struggled over the next 3 months, going under 500. But the Lakers have found their footing again, winning 9 of their last 10, including 6 straight wins. As for LeBron James, he's averaging a career low in usage and has not taken more than 15 shots in his last 7 games. Here's Lakers head coach J.J. Redick on LeBron's role.
He's still going to be and still has been a high usage player relative to your average player. He's, the best thing for our team is him being the 3rd highest used player. I think finding a rhythm and a groove within the rotations and lineups when those 3 guys play, I think that's been the challenge for all of them, not just LeBron, all season. Post All-Star break, it's just about finding that rhythm and finding that groove for all 3 of those guys.
All right, it seems like they're finding their groove to me, certainly at this point. But Brian, you've covered LeBron longer than anyone. What do you make of his current role?
It's fascinating that he is, finding this groove at this point in his career, at this point in the season. If you look at sort of LeBron, he's kind of moved down a little bit, and Luca has kind of moved up as you watch how they fit into this offense. Luca has just had the 6th most prolific games that we've seen him have in a Lakers uniform when it comes to scoring. Meanwhile, it's because LeBron's shooting is down. By the way, his efficiency is up. He's still making a big impact. And guys, I'm going to tell you this. Tonight, Luca and LeBron working together, this is the most important game of the season thus far for the Lakers. What's on the line in terms of the standings, what's on the line in terms of tiebreaker, and I could say the same thing about the Rockets.
As you get older, you get wiser.
Your
right?
hope.
Yeah. But that's what we're seeing with LeBron James. And when JJ talk about basically him taking a backseat to Luca and Austin Reeves, that's what we're witnessing. But also that's what we're seeing far as him leading the NBA in fast break points. He's saying to himself, why would I want to be the primary ball handler when I got 2 guys that could push the tempo, 2 guys that have the high IQ to kick ahead, and we see so many of these throughout the course of the game. Maybe 5 or 6, 3 of them coming from Luca, 2 or 3 coming from Austin Reeves. So again, this is about LeBron evolving, him, just continuing to max out the game and continue to trust his guys. Like, that's the biggest thing. If he trusts you,
what's helping,
then you have it.
What's helping it is that they're winning.
Oh,
Trust me when I tell you that if you're not winning, you're not getting that same buy-in.
Right.
They've won 9-1. They go 9-1 the last 10, won 6 games in a row. And LeBron is cool with that. Hey, let Luca do his thing. Let Austin Reeves do his thing. And I'll be that 41-year-old who's seen it all, and I'll step up in clutch situations. Mm-hmm. You touched on Luca, Wendy. He is playing unbelievable basketball. Best stretch as a Laker. We've all talked about that. He had his first 50-point game as a Laker against Chicago recently, which is an incredible performance. He follows that up with his first game-winning basket as a member of the Lakers, beating the Denver Nuggets at the buzzer. And you touched on the three-point shooting. I mean, what he's done the last 28 games, shooting over 41%, and the first Laker ever in a 6-game stretch to make over 5 threes per game. So you got to, tip your cap. We're all on Luca for the defense, the complaining, but he is playing at a high level, which in turn is allowing the Lakers at the right time of year to be playing their best basketball.
This is reminiscent of me to when Dwayne Wade took a step back. He was a lot younger. He took a step back in Miami and let LeBron rise up. Guess what? LeBron won the next 2 MVPs.
Yeah, but look, it's always like that. Once you gain that trust, I watched it with KG and Paul. They passed the torch to Rondo, right? It always happened like that. And let's be honest, LeBron been ready to pass the torch. Luca is just that guy that came in and took it from him.
He can catch it.
And D Wade passed the torch to him in a trip to the Bahamas. So I don't know if Rondo got that trip to the Bahamas.
No, probably.
All right, still ahead. Everyone wants to be like Mike, but it's not often that somebody soars above his airness there. Our own Hall of Famer Mike Wilbon offers up his perspective on KD passing MJ on the all-time scoring list.
I've always felt like I could be one of the top players in the world. But I always put the team first and what the bigger picture is first.
When we step on that floor, that the other person is going to do whatever it takes to try to win this game.
There's actually brighter days ahead, and I'm excited about when we get healthy.
I'm tweaking it.
You're watching NBA Countdown, presented by Lilly.
And here come the Boston Celtics, who have won 16 of their last 21 games. That includes going 4-1 in games where Jason Tatum has played. Since Tatum's return on March 6th, he and Jaylen Brown are tied for the team lead in plus-minus at plus 45. Perk, what have you seen from the duo?
That they're ready to go to the NBA Finals. That they're the best still duo in the Eastern Conference. That they have the most championship experience, that they can fit, and they're willing to make it work. Because Jason Tatum returned, and he fit right on in. And he's been a star in his role. I understand the percentages are not there for us what he's shooting, but he's doing a lot of the other things, grabbing rebounds, dropping dimes, defending at a high level, getting out in transition, and he's not taking away from Jaylen Brown. The man just had a 41-piece all flats, fried hard.
And that's really important for me. Because I thought initially Jaylen Brown was almost, kind of hey, Tatum, you do your thing. Let's get back into a rhythm. This is Jaylen Brown's team. They're second in the Eastern Conference for a reason. He's got to be aggressive. He got to the foul line 21 times, I think, against Phoenix the other night. And he's averaging career highs, points, rebounds, assists. He should be higher up in the MVP discussion, in my opinion. But Jaylen Brown's been great. And I think Jason Tatum, Wendy, one thing I think he's really going to add to is they've struggled in the clutch this year. Now you add another guy you can go to end of games. That helps Joe Mazzulla out a ton.
On the Warriors tonight, Kristaps Porzingis into the starting lineup for the first time. He did have a 30-point game the other night. That was a really good sign. It was against the Wizards, and that was 53 less than Bam Adebayo scored. But nonetheless, it was a good step forward. He says he's feeling better. And eventually, Steph's going to come back, and they could use Porzingis on a run. So we'll see how he plays tonight.
Well, this will be
12. I'm sorry, 12 games missed, 5 games played. Is he going to play enough games for him to be an impact player?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out. They're 6-12 without Steph. Let's send it to Boston with Dave Pasch, the Hall of Famer Doris Burke, and Taylor McGregor. Dave?
Only 14 games left for the second-place Boston Celtics before the NBA playoffs begin. Tonight, they host the Golden State Warriors, who are just trying to stay afloat while they await the return of Steph Curry. Welcome to NBA Courtside, presented by Michelob Ultra. Boston fresh off the St. Patrick's Day parade, attended by Jaylen Brown for the first time. He heard MVP chants, and he's also heard them all season long here at TD Garden. Jason Tatum, meanwhile, in Game 6, in his return from Achilles injury. Dave Pasch, Doris Burke, and Taylor McGregor with you. Since Tatum's return in games he's played, Boston is 4-1. And Doris, a lot of people wondered, how would this go? How would the dynamic be between the two? So far, so good.
Well, the most important thing as they navigate his return is they have won basketball games in what is a hotly contested Eastern Conference. For Jason Tatum, there's a lot to process in this last month. Most notably, he's got to gain confidence in his body and his mind, and he's got to knock some rust off. The numbers are quite solid for his start, but the guy who has been an MVP candidate this entire year has attacked this season with great confidence and great basketball skill. He has proven to be a very capable number one option. Now, he is a three-level scorer, and down the stretch of a possession ball game, the ball was in his hands. He dances their way to a victory. He has been sensational.
With more on Tatum and Brown, here's Taylor.
Well, Dave, Jason Tatum's return has been the biggest story surrounding the Celtics, despite them being the number 2 team in the East. Jaylen Brown has played at an MVP level all season, and he said right now there's a feeling out process, feeling out how teams are going to defend him now. How aggressive can he be? Just reassessing some things. But Joe Mazzulla told us tonight the most important thing is that when the two of them are on the court together, the number one priority is winning.
And Taylor, they will see an old friend tonight, Kristaps Porzingis, who helped Boston win an NBA championship 2 years ago. He is back at TD Garden, and he's coming off his best game since joining the Golden State Warriors.
He endeared himself to Celtics fans because he had a smile on his face the entire time he was here. He put a smile on the Warriors' face with his effort against Washington their last time out. Here are his numbers, and this is reflective of what everybody in the league knows. He is a very gifted center who can help you hang a banner. It's not number 18 for other teams. It is for the Celtics. This is what he did against Washington. His average shot distance on those threes, folks, is about 26 feet, but he's 7'2" and highly skilled and tremendous touch, and he lit them up for 30. We'll see if he can stay healthy and continue.
Porzingis' first game at the Garden since being traded this summer. He plays his 6th game since joining Golden State tonight here in Boston. Courtside continues after this.